If you decide to tackle this job yourself, you could end up burnt, bruised, or bleeding.
Or you could save hundreds of dollars and give it to your wife.
So if you've got code P3014 and you want to avoid buying a whole battery pack, 3014, and you want to avoid buying a whole battery pack, or maybe you've checked it out and you find out that your modules are good, which is the case we have here, even though the code P3014 alludes to a weak module or weak block, which would be 2 modules, and block 4 would do code P3014. Then you want to count, this is a 2010, so the bus bars that you'll want to look at are on this side of the 2010. If you've got an earlier, like a Gen 2 model or something, your bus bars, well, this one has bus bars in the back too, but that's not going to be the problem here. You want to go after the bus bars that have the sensing wires. And the reason is because you count sensing wire 1, 2, 3, 4, you get to block 4 and sensing wire 4. So once you have located block 4 and sensing wire 4, you want to take a good look at the sensing wire 4 right here to see if there are any cracks or anything like that. Now you're probably going to see more corrosion on the nuts here than what you see here, because this battery has been gone over and replaced with new nuts and done the cleaning with vinegar and baking soda. But the vinegar and baking soda is only a temporary fix. What we're going to show you is not going to be a permanent fix. The most permanent fix is replacing the entire battery assembly, but I'm assuming that you don't want to go through that much expense. It's a very costly way of doing it, especially if you check your blocks and your modules and your blocks and modules are not bad. You're probably not going to want to give up perfectly good blocks and modules. So here's what you do. You take the 2 nuts off block 4 and you reach under here with a very small screwdriver. Now this could be a eyeglasses screwdriver or something out of a small electronics kit, but you want to pull that sensor wire loose. You want to, now this one came loose by itself, but there is a tab that looks just like this on the upper side. If that comes loose, that releases the bus bar. Push down on the bottom tab to release the bottom part of the bus bar, and then sometimes there it goes. There's your bus bar. Now as you can see, this one, even with the vinegar and baking soda, it doesn't look that great. And here is a set of brand new ones. We're going to take one of these new ones. These are copper with nickel coating. This is dielectric grease, a Permatex. Everything I use, I will put a link in the description of the video so you can get it easily. You want to put a little dielectric grease on your finger and rub it on both sides of that new bus bar. Set that aside for now. You want to take your Scotch-Brite. You want to clean both terminals. You'll probably need to use some vinegar on your Scotch-Brite. And this is just regular Scotch-Brite. You won't find a link to the Scotch-Brite in the description because it's just common household Scotch-Brite that you find in the grocery store for your kitchen. With one caveat, it is the fine Scotch-Brite. It's not coarse, it's fine. Just rub that, get it nice and clean, put some dielectric grease on it. Remember, I had a little bit of dielectric grease on my fingers of my left hand. That's enough to put it on everything, post. I don't recommend that you do what I do and do this with bare hands. You should be wearing nice thick electrical gloves to protect yourself. Like I say in the end of my videos, don't recommend you do the things that I do. You're better off just paying somebody. But if you want to understand why it costs so much to have somebody do these things, or possibly you just don't have the money to pay somebody, then at least you'll know how it's done. Alright, so you got to get that little tab for this sensing wire up in that notch right there. Then you want to take and get that dielectric grease all over these nuts. If you want a set of brand new nuts, enough to do the entire battery pack, there is a link in the description. They're very affordable. The package of bus bars to do the entire battery pack is also very affordable. Now when you take your socket and you tighten these up, do not over tighten these. You do not want to damage the battery module. On the other end of this speed handle that you can't see is that I'm only using one fingertip to press in order to tighten these. Now let me look here. When it just goes to tight and I push on it, it's like a 1/16 of a turn. It's not even a 1/8 of a turn once they get finger tight. So there you go. I mean, that's really all there is to it. Once you've got the code, which was 3014, then that tells you, the 4 on the end of the code tells you that it's block 4. You can go right to the block you need to work on, and there you go. Now, if you've got this pack of bus bars, I do recommend that you go ahead and do this to all of your bus bars so that you won't have future codes. But if you want to do them one at a time, that's fine. Till the next video, get off the couch and get dirty. And when you put it back in, make sure you turn it and push it all the way to the passenger side. If this doesn't work and your module is bad and you have to replace your module, well, that's a whole nother video. Dakota says be sure to watch our other videos and subscribe.
Don't do anything I do in my videos, and don't even do anything I talk about.